Barbra Streisand, have you ever been whistling this catchy tune by Duck Sauce, a Canadian Eric DJ duo released in 2010? If you say yes, you probably have succumbed to the charm of Barbra's personality. This gifted American diva has realized as an actress, singer, songwriter, TV producer, and film director with Jewish heritage and Ukrainian roots. Born in a low-income family in Brooklyn, she managed to build a successful career that lasted around 60 years, leaving her impact on the cinema and musical industry. Now, an 81-year-old. Barbra is one of the best-selling recording artists of all time, with sales exceeding 150 million records worldwide. She is an honorable winner of numerous awards, including 2 Oscars for Harvard, Best Actress for Funny Girl 1968, and Best Original Song for Evergreen 1976. You might have an impression that Streisand is living large, and you are right. One of her compounds in Malibu costs $100 million. Her success, with an estimated net worth of nearly $915 million, has resulted in an outstanding amount of luxurious belongings. Don't rush to envy, though Barbra deserved every penny. Did you know that Streisand lived on her own at 16, taking various menial jobs to earn a living? She even dragged an army cot and slept at her friends' houses during one gloomy period. Now, an Oscar-winning superstar enjoys meeting a new day in the cliffside estate in Malibu, sharing it with her husband, American actor James Brolin, and their dog Samantha. She moved there after donating her previous house in Malibu to the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy in 1993, where she had lived for over 20 years. It was a lovely $12 million estate, framed by 5 acres of picturesque landscape with sycamore, walnut, pine, and oak trees, charming bridges and gardens, occasional defirs, and even a stream on the territory. It had been her home since 1974, and it took years and tons of effort for Barbra to decorate it to her liking. She made a lot of renovations, planted over 1,000 trees, and even rerouted a spring, directing it across a grassy meadow. The compound consisted of 5 different houses, the so-called barn, the vine-covered home she lived in, the Peach House, a guest house and a private movie theater, the Art Deco house used for entertaining guests, the Burwood, a craftsman bungalow, and a former caretaker's residence. For some time, the lavish 24-acre compound was open for public tours. In 1993, you could get a 90-minute tour, including tea on the patio, $4.30 per person per special permission. Newlyweds could even perform a marriage ceremony in the backyard with a marvelous view of a formal Art Deco house and a rustic barn-like building. Unfortunately, other prosperous neighbors in Malibu objected to being bothered by numerous visitors, so now the property isn't accessible for public tours. After a tough season of fires and floods in Malibu, the star opted to sell the estate. It had been on sale for 5 years before she decided to make a generous donation to the Conservancy. Strange enough, no one bought the estate where Barbra performed the well-known Oasis concert to a celebrity audience in 1986, collecting millions for the Democratic Party and charity. It is now called the Streisand Center for Conservancy Studies and is part of Ramirez Canyon Park. The complex is likely to become a place uniting ecologists on the topic of land use. In her interview with Architectural Digest in 1993, Barbra said, "If you're not going to use something, you have to let it pass on, go on its way, and live a life with somebody who will appreciate it. However, when moving out practical." Miss Streisand took most of the furniture with her, what made the diva settle in Malibu. Despite the weather, she was charmed with the new house. From the moment she saw it, she craved it. She had been waiting for 11 years to buy it. The Hollywood legend called it an homage to craftsmanship and famous designers and architects, including Green and Green Stickney Brand and Charles Rennie Mackintosh. The design took her years to accomplish, but it was a mere bounty for Streisand. The author of the book, My Passion for Design, 2010. The book contains her own photos of the decorated rooms, collected art and furniture, and colorful gardens planted on the California coastline, seasoned with her childhood memories and stylish insights. Let's carefully sneak peek on Barbra's dream home. It actually comprises 4 buildings: the main house, Grandma's house, the mill house, and the barn. Located on a 3-acre territory, she built everything from scratch, except for the main house, according to Barbra. There was nothing here when we started. We built the streams because I think water is a very soothing element. Now I'm surrounded by it on 3 sides. The superstar finds design very fulfilling. You have something to really show for it afterward. Barn reflects her love for the American hinterlands. Just imagine. Barbra even has chickens laying green eggs. A tiny fish pond is the barn's silent companion, a true perfectionist. Barbra deliberately chose the hues of the fish. Since the houses are barn red, trimmed with black and white, the fish, of course, have to be black and white right. The rose garden is another topic for discussion. However, no words would express its meaning for Barbra's well-being. It's her safe haven, her spiritual place. Whenever the star needs to be alone, she goes outside and smells the planted roses for her. It's an ever-changing painting, and in the center of this fabulous garden stands an amazing wishing well. Grandma's house, as the diva calls it, serves for recordings, if you are lucky enough to be invited to Barbra's house as a guest. God moves in mysterious ways. She'll probably locate you in the lavender bedroom of this cottage tile estate. Barbra calls it informal. She got used to setting up a music stand and a microphone there. This is where she records songs such legendary singers as Barry Gibb and Tony Bennett also recorded in this room. According to Barbra, she likes looking at the ocean while singing. However, she admits the environment isn't professional. It doesn't even have double-glazed windows on the ocean, and yet it works. In 2023, the 81-year-old superstar invited Stephen Colbert, the host of The Late Show, to her home in Malibu and showed him an antique emporium in the basement. She commented, "It's a little tiny mall, if you want to say, instead of just storing my things in the basement. I can make a street of shops and display them." There is Bee's Doll Shop, a gift shop, and a sweet shop, where Barbra treats her guests with frozen yogurt and popcorn before leaving her home for a party. Streisand attends the gift shop to choose a present and decorate it with lovely ribbons at the wrapping table. You might find a lot of collectible items and trinkets there, but you won't encounter any cash registers and good news for men. There is a bench near the doll shop where they can comfortably wait while women are inside. The antique clothes shop is a real treasure trove of lavish clothing, including a black lace cape and the gown the star wore in Funny Girl, the one with green chiffon over pink silk and beaded sleeves. The antique clothes shop looks like a museum paneled in lavender-painted bory. There's a funny story behind the paneled doors. As we already know, Barbra Streisand loves to construct everything in her original way. In 2004, after filming Meet the Fockers, she asked the production designer about the fate of a pair of paneled doors. He would like to throw them out. Her instant reaction was, "I'll take them now." Her house is filled with luxurious decor and pieces of art. However, things haven't always gone that way. I had no money to buy art, so I would buy old picture frames and put them on white walls, just framing space, which I thought was beautiful, commented Barbra on her youth in Brooklyn. Her childhood was even more drastic. In an interview on CBS's Early Show Tuesday, she admitted, "We never had a couch. We never had a living room. We only had a dining room when my grandmother and grandfather lived in one bedroom. My mother, my brother, and I slept in another bedroom. Now I love couches." The message behind Barbra's life is simple. Never give up trying. Her story is highly inspirational with due diligence and faith in yourself. Who knows where you will be in the next 10 or 20 years, even if now you sleep at your friend home on a tough army cart, now drum roll. It's your finest hour. Which of Barbra's Malibu houses? Do you like more the one she left in 1993 or her current residence? Had you visited her previous estate before the public tours were forbidden? Have you read any of her books, My Passion for Design, or an almost one-page memoir? My name is Barbra. Please share your thoughts with our welcoming community.